Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Continuing to see the steady rain pushing through the area this morning, as well as some breezy conditions and temperatures continuing to hold in the lower 60s. And we can expect these conditions to continue as we move through our working hours today. Seeing just a slight chance of some lightning in the area this afternoon, but overall should just continue with these moderate to heavier rain showers as we move through working hours today, with things starting to taper off going through the overnight time frame. Take a look at the current surface analysis. We have an area of low pressure just to our south along the coastline, a weakening area of low pressure well off to the west. We'll see this coastal area of low pressure become the dominant one as it tracks along the coast off to the northeast, bringing the shower activity through the area and keeping things unsettled as we move through the next 24 hours. Take a look at the upper level winds from this morning's sounding. Had some east-southeasterly winds in the lower levels, becoming westerly to southwesterly at times as we move up through the column, seeing our peak wind this morning of 53 knots at 25,000 feet, and the freezing level was at 12,000 feet. Take a quick look at the local radar here. We could see generally moderate to pockets of heavier precip continuing to move through the area. You can see the general track from the southwest off to the northeast, and again does have a good rain shield over the local area, so expecting that to continue as we move through the day today, but not currently tracking any lightning in the area at this time. As we zoom out, look at the visible satellite composite radar, we can see that rain shield across the Delmarva region, and expecting that to continue to push through, and could see some further development of more spotty showers as we get later in the evening on the backside of this. So steady rain expected, unsettled conditions as we move through the day today, and we'll see some breezy conditions continuing with possibly a good chance of seeing a wind advisory as we move later in the day. Looking at the high resolution model for the next 48 hours, we'll see, as mentioned, that continued shower activity pushing through. Do continue to see those pockets of heavier rain showers pushing through, and then a better chance of some lightning in the area this afternoon and the first part of the evening, although that looks to be just about a 20% chance of that occurring. As we get into the evening time frame, we see more breakup in some of the shower activity, a bit more on and off in nature, and starting to lighten up as we move into that overnight time frame, with things coming to an end by the time we get past the 10 to midnight time frame. And we will continue to see some low clouds and possibly some patchy fog lingering around the area into the early morning hours of Thursday, and possibly some low clouds lingering as we start the day on Thursday. Overall, Thursday is looking much nicer with fairly pleasant conditions, and overall looking mainly dry. We will see a very slight chance of an isolated shower popping up during the afternoon time frame, but that does not look very likely at this time. Better chance of showers will arrive, though, as we move into the overnight time frame, mainly as we get past the midnight time. As you can see, the model quite bullish with this activity here. Other models not quite as bullish, but nonetheless indicate the possibility for a shower or storm pushing through the area during that overnight time frame in the early morning hours of Friday, before that pulls off as we get into the start of the day on Friday, starting off mainly dry for our Friday. But as we zoom out, look at the longer term model here, we'll see Friday afternoon, we'll see another upper level short wave and a broad area of low pressure developing and pushing through our area once again, bringing a good chance for some afternoon showers, afternoon into the evening showers and thunderstorms. As you can see, quite a bit of coverage here on the European model. Storm Prediction Center does have a marginal risk for some stronger to severe storms during that time frame, so can't rule out a stronger storm passing through with this upper level shortwave, but that does pull off as we move into Saturday, and then once again later in the day, Saturday into the evening, we'll continue to see that upper level trough lingering over the area, supporting a potential for another round of showers and storms. And then as that pulls off, we do move into a drier pattern as we move towards the end of the weekend and into the beginning of next week. Overall, things look to stay dry, but we will see very slight chance of a shower as we move late in the day. Monday does look like that will be more north or west of the local area. As you can see, the European model indicating that here as some upper level support possible for a pop-up shower, but does not look too impactful and not very likely at this time this far out. So other than that, things looking to dry out as we move through the end of the weekend and into the first half of next week, with high pressure generally in control and looking at fairly seasonable weather as we move into the start of our June. Looking at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, continual red conditions for our precip as we move through working hours today and into the evening time frame, dropping down to an orange risk as things start to break up past the 20 local time frame, and then ending that precip risk as we pass the midnight time frame. We do have a yellow risk for lightning as we pass noon today and continues through the afternoon daytime hours. Again, just looking at about 20% chance of that occurring. Overall, just seeing steady, moderate to heavier rain as we move through our day today. Do have increasing risk for a wind advisory, particularly as we get into the afternoon, increasing to that red risk. We do expect those winds out of the east-southeast, generally becoming more southeasterly as we move into the afternoon. Sustained 15 to 20 knots, gusting to 31 knots at their peak later this afternoon. So likely seeing a wind advisory at times as we move through that time frame as well. Overall, we'll see those temperatures continuing between 62 and 65 degrees for the next 24 hours. And then as we go into the evening, we keep a yellow risk for reduced ceilings and visibilities as the system pulls away. We'll see winds becoming lighter out of the west and potential for some low clouds and patchy fog lingering around the area into the start of the day on Thursday. Looking at the longer-term forecast here, Thursday, as mentioned, overall looks fairly good, mostly cloudy with chance for some low clouds early, generally becoming partly cloudy, very slight chance of that pop-up afternoon shower. Better chance comes later in the evening, as you can see here, increasing to a 40% chance during that early morning Friday time frame, and then that afternoon activity looks to be about a 70% chance at this time, so looking fairly likely we'll see some showers and thunderstorms at least during the afternoon and evening time frame on Friday. Do see our temperatures climbing back up into the mid-70s generally for the next 7 days after we get through today, and we'll see those low temperatures in the low 60s, upper to mid-50s at times later in the week. Saturday, once again, another 40% chance of afternoon evening shower, and then back to dry conditions as we move through Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Just given about a 10% chance of that pop-up shower risk right now for Monday. Generally, though, just seeing partly cloudy and fairly pleasant and seasonable conditions. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.